you're on Warchant TV. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you watching. If you're watching, like and subscribe. Helps everybody find the show, helps everybody gravitate towards this happy family and discussion, and we appreciate it and aids us in our endeavors. If you're listening on 93.3, I hope you're well. Hope you're safe out there driving around, maybe getting your last second Christmas shopping done. But, last note here, because we have to lay out the schedule. We're on today, Seminole headlines tomorrow, and Jeff Cameron Show Wednesday, and peace. That's how that's going.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well.
Take it on down the road.
How about that, director?
Yeah. So, but I will say that's partly the host is heading out of town and all that good stuff. I'll be here right until Christmas, but then a lot of traveling, a lot of catching up with family throughout the state. And I become Santa Claus, man. I become Santa Claus, make my way around the state, saying hello to family and friends and passing out gifts and hugs. There you go. I will also say that I'm joining you, Tom, in the weather is bothering me phase, because my throat, it's just, I feel fine. I feel absolutely fine, but my throat is, I don't know how much I got in here right now. I woke up today. We did the Scuttlebucks together, talk about that ass beating at the hands of the Saints last night, the humiliation in Tampa. And that's up and running. If you guys want to go listen to the Scuttlebucks, it's up. A lot of conversation centered around that game and what we do moving forward here. But anyhow, I do worry about getting through tonight. Tonight's the bowling tournament, Tom, and that gets me to something I really want to stress, because early this morning, the phone lit up with folks wanting to know. I think they're making last-second plans too. Not everybody obviously can participate in tonight's JCS annual bowling tournament that we do for the kids of the Guardian Ad Litem. Fine friends at Gordo's, of course, helping out, and I look forward to seeing them. They got a team this year. They're going to be there rolling with us, and, of course, providing the food, all that. And so people have asked, where do I drop off the toys? Where do I go to drop off the toys? District 850, guys. District 850 is there and waiting for you. You can swing on in, drop off gift cards. You can drop off toys, whatever you need to do. District 850 here in Tallahassee is expecting us, to say the least, and expecting you with your gifts.
What I can tell you, this is the best part of today, because I do feel that stress, and Tallahassee is not going to make up its mind over the next week even of what temperature and what season we want to live in. So that's going to wreak havoc on the old sinuses. But the Lang sleigh for tonight's event is going to be chock full. Gifts of all ages. And it's going to fill up the tree along with everybody else. But that's the best part, is when you unload that and you go, oh my goodness, look at this.
I agree.
You remember when this toy looked like it was 10 feet tall because the world was just this giant place?
Mm-hmm.
And you go back in time for a little bit. And you're also doing some good while you do that little time travel exercise.
I appreciate that, Tom, and I'm going to do something similar, and I'm excited about it. But I got Tom Block sent me a text this morning and said, hey, got some toys we want to drop off. He didn't want credit, but he wanted to know, can we do it today? So I thought his question was probably indicative or mirrored by a lot of other people in town. If you're not bowling, that's okay. If you're not going to be in town later on this afternoon or this evening, if you're headed out, you can swing on by District 850. They're prepared to receive the gifts. If you want to get gift cards, that's great. Those are universally beloved because kids can then choose what they want. If you do have a toy for a little boy and a little girl, swing it on by. That's great. Whatever you want to do, whatever you can contribute, it is greatly appreciated. Tonight, we start the event at 7 o'clock. If you want to come by and drop off toys then and just witness it and be part of it or anything like that and say hello, we welcome you with open arms.
They've got a full, if you have not been there yet and you haven't seen the full service bar or the midway with all the games, if you didn't feel like bowling, but you just want to come by and watch some football, the setup is pretty nice.
Oh, it's really
first class action there at the District 850.
Yeah, and this year it's going to be interesting because we'll have it set up. Some things will be different than in years past. But I know this, as far as the actual bowling and lane to lane, we've got servers for every lane. So everybody's going to be able to get access to whatever they want, food, drink, whatever it is. You're all set.
And they do the modern thing where you have the television screens on the back of the alley so you can see the games as
little
you're
Monday
rolling.
Night Football action.
And also, if you wanted to go to, they got some axe throwing. And you can walk over there and throw some axe. I mean, that's a fun house. That's a fun house. So I know people are going to be mixing it up tonight. We can't wait. That energy is always the best energy of the year.
So really quick, couple things here. No basketball over the weekend. There will be no basketball tomorrow for Florida State either. That was scheduled. The variant Omicron, as it's known, wreaking havoc in both professional and college sports right now. A lot of postponements and downright cancellations. Also a lot of discussion about what to do next in terms of policies. You're hearing, and I figured this might happen, by the way. It's a number of ACC coaches have come out. They've been very critical of the conferences, as they put it, draconian policy. I think they're right. I think this is about to change across all leagues.
Yeah, it's going to start with the NFL.
Yeah.
This is
It
the
always does.
conversation.
It always does.
Mm-hmm. Ian Rappaport has been the one that's been, as you might imagine, as he works for the NFL. So he's been the spear of the story, telling you how the NFL last week had already rolled back policies for fully vaccinated / boosted players and how quickly they can return to play. And now they're talking about straight up reclassifying COVID if it's of the Omicron variety and variant variety. If
you're asymptomatic and you've had your boosters and you've had your shots or whatever, they're like, go play. That's
correct.
Where we're headed.
If the studies internationally continue
to
show that it's more transmissible but less severe, aka like a normal cold, as long as you got your jabs, then they're going to reclassify how players go about their business and can return to business.
Well, what's interesting in terms of just the rules from league to league, game to game, sport to sport, I think, without getting bogged down in the other stuff for a moment, the fact that they originally, and I know why they did it, but things have changed, and when new things come to light, you have to make adjustments. They originally, basically, there was the threat of a forfeit hanging over your head. So the fear is that if you are going to be forced to forfeit, and you've got, let's say, 3 players or 5 players in a basketball roster, that's significant. But they're all vaccinated and they're all asymptomatic. The fear is that teams are going to be like, we're good. Go play. I ain't taking an L out here today. So
right.
They'll probably change those policies.
Yes, and these situations are fluid. The NFL said, full stop, we are not rescheduling games this year. We are not postponing games. If they cannot be played, they will not be played. Full stop. Those are our rules. Well, guess what happened last week?
Yeah.
There's 2 games today, 2 games tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe they'll move one game up from Thursday to Wednesday just because they feel like it.
I do like the idea for the wrong reasons, but I love when we move games around. I got to be honest with you. I love when, like, this week, we're going to be watching games on Tuesday night. Yes,
right,
yes, we are.
You got Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And that's before they postpone some more this upcoming weekend, which feels like the odds are pretty good they're going to do that. But you see, that's what the NFL is doing, whereas NBA, NHL, in the NHL, I don't even know, are there any games going on? They canceled 3 more today, as far as I'm aware.
NHL's got an interesting situation because they've got to deal with Canada,
right,
and their rules. And selfishly, very selfishly, I have sweet tickets for the Lightning against the Canadians.
Oh, you're screwed.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, the Canadians got shut down. There was
through Christmas.
Okay, all right.
The game I'm going to is after Christmas.
Oh boy, I think
I'm probably screwed here, which is very frustrating because I've got a group, a family, we're all headed there. Yeah.
Unless they change their rules like too sweet. But the problem is there as well for the NHL, this has now done damage to the schedule to a level that kicks in a clause on Olympic participation for NHL players that they're probably out on going to play in the Olympics. So hockey's a totally different story. But yes, this reclassifying on the fly thing is going to happen across all sports, unless there's new data that
says not
changes the conversation. But that's where, in case people are talking about, like you're talking about how coaches are concerned about draconian rules on forfeiting.
Yeah.
These rules, everything's fluid. They're going to change. If the NFL, which said period, end of story, no postponements, and they've changed their rules, other leagues, every other league is going to follow suit to what the NFL did.
Yeah, those protocols will change, and we knew that. That would shift, especially because, so for example, you probably heard today Baker Mayfield is out, and so is the backup, and you've got a third-string quarterback starting. But Baker was frustrated, and he didn't say anything crazy. But he was talking about how I'm fine. I practice. I feel great. I'm twice boosted. I've done everything there is. I'm feeling good. I don't even have a temperature. Like, I'd like to play tonight. I'd like to give it a go. Kind of an important game. Kind of a big game. And so you have a lot of starters who are like, yeah, man. So they're changing. which they did before, but they're talking now like, okay, if you've done everything you were supposed to do up to this point, we're good. You don't have to test at the beginning of the week. You're going to be good to go, which we kind of knew where that was headed because I brought up to you before the year. When this starts to affect the money, if games get canceled, TV deals, owners, parking, commission, concessions, like think about all that flying out the window.
Right. The only thing that's now going to be questionable about this, again, assuming that the information that we have now continues,
Right.
and so that's what they're operating on. Rappaport was interviewed today on a different show, different network, and he said it might get to the point where teams are going to trust that players tell on themselves that they're not feeling well. And that it's already gotten to a place where with concussions in the NFL, players will self-report. It's no longer considered that you're weak if you don't try to play through a concussion.
Right. No. Now
that
it's
idea has changed. But with COVID, we'll see. We'll see if a player, like, again, if you're on the fringe of the roster and you don't feel well, but are you going to internalize that and say, oh, no, I'm fine, and potentially spread it to the locker room? Or can you trust the players on their own are going to self-report if there are symptoms and they don't feel well?
Well, okay, so I know they're not the same thing, and I don't want to over-trivialize this or simplify this, but here's the deal. You and I have a workplace. Everybody does. People are listening to this. We have a workplace. Feel sick? Don't come to work. Everybody understands that.
I'll see you Tuesday.
But that's the deal. You trust your coworkers to do the right thing. Like, hey, man, got the flu, body aches, you're sweating. Hey, take it to the house. Don't be rolling in here. And everybody understands that. And I think everybody's hypersensitive to that now. We all get it. Like if Larry says he's not feeling well, I'm going to trust Larry's not feeling well. Now, if Larry's not feeling well for 27 out of 30 work days, Larry's going to get fired. But you see the deal. I mean, it's all within reason. Get it together, Larry.
Well, guys, I'm about 60% today. Once I get to 70, I'll come back. I promise.
I promise. Hey, so I didn't get to the story of the weekend, I guess. But it is good news because we need wide receivers. And Mycah Pittman has announced he'll be transferring to Florida State. Now, I'm not here to tell you Mycah Pittman's going to come in here and solve all of Florida State's problems. And it was certainly interesting, the dynamic at Oregon with him shutting it down. He talked about his frustrations, that it become a run-oriented offense, and that he wants to showcase his skills and get to the NFL. But I did think it was interesting. So you chose Florida State, did you? He's talked about wanting to be in a prolific passing offense. I was like, oh, and Florida State was your choice? Oh, okay, I'll take it. I understand that what you're suggesting, if you're him, is that where they would like to go with the offense, it's an offense for playmakers, then you'd like to be able to throw the ball more consistently, and that because they didn't have very good receivers and because they couldn't block it up in the passing game and didn't have much of a drop-back passing game, he's going to help remedy that and open the other aspects of the offense up. Maybe that's the way he's viewing it. Maybe that was the way it was explained to him. But if you were solely going by numbers and you said, well, Oregon was getting too run-oriented, and I want to go to a place that really throws the ball around, okay.
Well, if you're anywhere with a pulse at this level, the target count that you're going to get as wide receiver one here is going to be robust. And if you can turn 50-50s into 30-70s, I mean, you win 30% of the time, not 70% of the time, you're going to get a lot of looks. We saw that a lot this year, and we talked about it on Mondays and Tuesdays for headlines, Mondays and Wednesdays after big games where they're setting it up. You can see that they've isolated matchups that they really like. People just aren't winning them.
They don't win the one-on-one matchups, correct.
I'm sure that's the matchup he got is, look at this.
Do you think you can actually make that play right there? Yeah.
Can you beat this player? He's from Jacksonville State. You good enough to beat that guy? Oh, great. Well, then we're going to throw to you in that situation because that's where we're looking.
Yeah, no, I think where they want to go and where they were are two very different things. So you're right. I mean, that is what you're selling to receivers in general, including Mycah Pittman, obviously, and it worked. It worked. You give Dillingham some credit here from Pittman's own mouth. He said Dillingham sold him on going to Florida State, told him to go to Florida State, that it would be beneficial for him to go to Florida State. Mentioned that, quote, honestly, that FSU is a great fit for me. I kind of already knew in my heart it would be. I left the visit to FSU knowing it was great, but I didn't want to rush my decision. Didn't want to make it out of pure excitement. I took my time, talked it over with my family. I know this is the right place for me. Dillingham, told him along with Brian McClendon, position coach at Oregon, that, Florida State would be a good place for you. We first guessed that the Dillingham situation was not acrimonious in any way. that is a guy that desperately aspires to be a head coach sooner rather than later, is from the West Coast, had a chance to go back, have total autonomy of an offense, thus what he would believe accelerating the chance that he gets a group of 5 job somewhere down the line as a head coach sooner rather than later, as opposed to always having to hover under the umbrella of it being a Mike Norvell offense. So I got it. I didn't have a problem with it. It is nice to know that in the midst of all of that, he's telling kids that he was trying to entice to come to Florida State, even after he knew he was leaving. Yes, you should still go to Florida State. That's good.
Yeah, it's the least he could do because, he could have announced on Monday of last week. That's where I got pissed off. Like if you know that as long as these 3 things fall into place, you're taking the gig, well, I'm sure that Dan Lanning would make it happen. It's not like he doesn't want you to be there on more than just a professional level. You've got a long-standing connection. That's where I got pissed off is, so we're waiting until the morning of signing day. Great.
But I don't think it cost us. I don't think he was the reason we lost anybody.
You send us this player.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's one. Now, if you manage to push Coleman our way as well, then that's great. That's 2 for 2.
The receiver situation is that's one check mark. Okay. We're going to throw numbers at the problem. I would like to think that you can get 2-3 more guys in the transfer portal at that position and hope like hell one of the younger guys emerges and takes a step forward, and that maybe you have a sufficient, even average receiving core going into next year. It's the same way we view the offensive line situation. We've built it up to being, what I think is a slightly below average offensive line, but not sorry anymore. And I think it's an offensive line that, when healthy, against the middling teams of the ACC, certainly very effective. Can you get to a place now? And obviously we added the Wisconsin kid, and you brought in 5. So you're throwing numbers at the problem. You'd like to get another transfer or 2 in and hope like hell that between the growth of those that started this year, many of whom had to play hurt, and then a couple of transfer portal guys, goodness gracious, all that. Yeah. Then that maybe you put out there an average to slightly above average offensive line next year. That's where we're.
It feels like in 2 years' time, it's going to be fixed to a degree where we're not thinking this is the worst segment on the team. One of the worst segments in America across any position group.
Yeah. Got to do the same at linebacker.
Right.
There's a lot.
One down. We'll be like, okay, 1 down. Good job. Now let's make it 2. Now let's make it 3.
Let's comb the NFL. We'll do it in a second. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Hi, I'm Jeff, founder of Which Superior Sandwiches, and I'm here to tell you about our signature witch, the Wicked. Why call it the Wicked? Some say it's wicked tasty, some say it's wicked large. One thing's for sure, with oven-roasted turkey, ham, pepperoni, roast beef, and bacon, as well as your choice of 3 cheeses, it definitely takes you from wicked hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites. Only at Which Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5.
Tallahassee's 30-year-old Funny Paper and American Legion Post 13 have joined forces to become Major Morale. The new magazine has 4 more pages of post activities and military information that you probably never knew. But don't worry, it's still as politically correct and newsworthy as always. Okay, it's the same funny stuff, but it's still only available at the sponsors' locations like Krispy Kreme, ABC Flooring, Keith Lawson Services, or Tallahassee Automobile and Collectibles Museum. See over 160 vehicles dating from 1894 to 2016 that include the first car ever built in America, 3 Batmobiles, trucks, and motorcycles. Other artifacts include the finest Steinway piano collection in the world, metal cars, antique boats and motors, sports memorabilia, case knives, and much more. Find them all at Mayhand and I-10 or online at TACM.com.
Hi, this is Justin Colvin, founder of the Medicare Help Desk. I routinely speak to seniors who are overwhelmed by the multitude of coverage options available to them. That's why I created the Medicare Help Desk radio show. Tune in every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. where I provide clear answers to all your questions about Medicare.
Are you stumped on who to call for fast and affordable crane and tree service? With the largest crane in the Big Bend area, Deep South Tree Service is a cut above the rest. Call Rob for a free quote, 877-TREE. Deep South Tree Service. Our roots run deep.
This is Patty Wilson.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're ready.
He's recording.
Why are you always saying your last name? It's Patty and Scott. Everybody
I don't
knows
know that.
Patty and Scott.
I don't know. 'Cause this is Patty Wilson. No, I am Patty Wilson.
What is the idea behind said promo?
It's for Patty's Playhouse. We're on Patty's Playhouse Saturdays at 11. Tune in. That's stupid. Just tune in. Saturdays at 11. Patty Wilson, Patty's Playhouse. House talk with a happy ending.
Each and every time.
For about 50 years, Paul's Termite and Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses for thousands of people right here in the Big Bend. And we're quite proud of that. Fact is, all of us here at Paul's have families, and nothing is more important to us than their protection. By providing effective termite and pest treatments, we know we're aiding many right here in our community.
Paul's Termite and Pest Control performs many services designed for the protection of your family and your home. Programs like Pro Shield Complete, which encompasses termite and general pest control in one low-cost quarterly treatment plan. This program is environmentally friendly and is almost exclusively limited to exterior treatments, meaning pests and termites never enter your home. Termite programs like Centricon, a service which requires no invasive drilling or liquid applications. Plus, our lawn care team keeps lawns and ornamentals green and healthy.
Protection of your family, your home, and our environment all are very important to each of us at Paul's. To learn more about our many programs, please visit us at callpauls.com.
For the elimination of termites or any other pests.
And a greener lawn, too.
Call Paul's. We'll get them all.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
But Mycah Pittman has just solved your punt return problems. Okay. All right. If that's all he does, okay, I will take that. Now, I'd prefer he also become a talented wide receiver. But hey, now, a guy will catch it and return it, makes a play. Yeah. I saw that commitment and went, all righty, there we go. We got a guy that'll catch a punt. We know it. There's visual evidence. You've seen him on film in a college football game catching punts on the regular.
Was it like 15 returns for 150 yards?
Yeah.
That's robust.
Oh, my God. That's all-time great.
Jordan Travis is gonna be like, what are these short fields you speak of?
Yeah. So, right off the bat, I got excited about that. And I'll take the catch. I'll take the catch. And maybe, God forbid, there's a bonus return every once in a great while. But not letting it roll forever and a day. Upgrade. There we go. Let's roll. Did you stay up to watch the shutout?
Yes. I was in and out of sleep all day yesterday, so I had plenty of rest saved up.
Just not feeling. You're still just trying to get through, huh?
Trying to get through. There's no fever issue, no temperature issue. This is just, it's aggravating, but we're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there. No contagiousness to it.
No.
I'm over the hump from last week,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's annoying. But yeah, I was like, hey, at least the Bucks are going to win the division tonight.
No,
they're not.
Not only are they not going to win the division, they're not going to score. Not once. Nothing. Tip of the cap to the Saints, who will regular season dominate Tampa's ass on the regular.
Yeah.
On the regular.
Made TB12 look like TD12.
It was,
Old Dilfer.
Yeah, it was something to see. But I thought it was funny that I found myself in that fan place. I love the perspective of getting older. I don't love all the aspects of getting older, but I do love the perspective that comes with age. About midway through the third quarter, it occurred to me, Tom, they're not going to score. Like the evidence appeared pretty overwhelming. They are not going to score, barring a defensive score.
Taysom Hill could have scored for us last night.
Yes.
I think he had a better chance of scoring than Tom Brady did. Taysom Hill did.
Right. The way I look, you mean for the Bucs.
That's correct. For the Bucs.
Correct. I thought the same thing. And I was laughing about that. I was kind of like, all right, maybe he'll throw us one. Certainly not. He tried. Yeah. Maybe there'll be a scoop and score or something like that. But other than that, I was fairly certain midway through the third quarter, we ain't scoring tonight. We're not putting together a drive. And what was funny is our dear friend TPE, whole family at the game to watch the Bucs clinch.
Oh, dear God.
So he got to go to a game in prime time for the first time in a long time. Boop. Little goose egg for that ass.
Hey, that pregame was lit, though, wasn't it, TPE?
I thought, my God, my man. He texted me that he was there. I was like, oh, no. Oh, no.
So if there is an overzealous Buccaneer fan out there listening to this show, it just happens to be a Buccanole like we are, you and I. If you want to do a breakdown of what Tampa Bay's offensive output is when we do wear the pewter pants with the red tops compared to any other uniform combination, any other, it's always bad. And the win-loss record, I'll bet you we're batting at like a 220 winning percentage since we got those uniforms back.
I hadn't thought about it.
Anytime we wear them, I go, uh-oh. It's like the opposite of all
like
those years.
When we wear black here?
When we wear black here, yep. Until recent events here with this basketball program. But if we were wearing black, you're screwed. Now, if we were wearing the garnet on the road, I knew, oh boy, today's going to be a rough day. I don't know how. I just know that it works. So when I saw Brady running down there with Gabbert during pregame warm-ups, like, wait, we're not wearing the white pants?
They're like, why not?
We're wearing the pewter pants?
No.
Oh, this is going to be bad.
Well, seeing the Saints on the other sideline usually gives you an indicator that it's going to be bad. It's always a tough matchup with their defense shutting down pretty much. Now, I will say this. It did look like Godwin was going to be on his way to having a great game again. He was 6 catches, 40-something yards already. I mean, he was on his way to having a good day.
It also looked like he was going to have his leg amputated.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, I'm going to need you to not get guys killed on the regular here, Tom. And I don't mean you. The other Tom's going to stop getting guys killed on certain throws. But, hey, tight windows against the Saints. Tight windows. That's funny. No, Eric, I don't take requests, buddy. I'll do the show the way I want to do the show.
Well, it's couldn't anyway, not good.
Yeah, that's all right. But I just thought I would, if you want to move it on down the road, go ahead and take it elsewhere. You probably should do that. Save yourself the frustration. There's not anything to talk about with Florida State right now, save for what is going to happen in this transfer portal, and we're all waiting to see. We're all waiting to see.
That's been a good week in the portal, though. You know,
it has been a good week.
So if you had a line of delineation of signing day, end of our broadcast, our 7-hour marathon, and how sour it ended that day, from that point to here, Armella changed his mind magically. I'm sure no phone calls were made between then and the time he signed. Then you bring in Caden Lyles from Wisconsin.
Right.
And then you get Pittman. Okay. All right. Nicely done. Been a nice period of time since 3 o'clock on Wednesday.
I was actually, in a lot of ways, I mean, obviously, to me, I was much more excited about, at some point, kind of seeing who we had where, well, first of all, who was available in the portal. But then secondly, who we had a legitimate chance to get. That is something to monitor on the regular. It's not something to spend a ton of time talking about on a sports talk show, because there's no real angle there other than, yep, he's available. Let's see if we go after him. Now, there are kids that you would look at and immediately say, oh, I would love for us to target him. But you have to look at relationships, existing relationships, where they're from, who they were originally recruited by, where they, who was their second, third choice coming out of high school, those kinds of things. And you do your due diligence there. Obviously, you'll spend, all of us will, the vast majority of the time, kind of just identifying. There's so many kids in the portal anymore, identifying fits. But that's what this staff has already proven themselves. They've already proven themselves, to be very good at. That was something that we praised them for before the season even began. Just looking at some of the guys that they brought in, turns out they were even better than we thought they might be. We all kind of identified quite easily Jermaine Johnson as a candidate to be a stud.
Right, and hopefully, Mycah Pittman is the type of player that, while his stats don't jump off the page where he was, when you get to spring camp and we see him take the field for the first time, just like we did with Jermaine Johnson, you go, okay, whew, that's different. That's different. That's going to play. I don't know if it's going to shock the world. Like, Jermaine exceeded even my expectations when I first saw him on the field. I thought he looks different because he comes from Georgia. We'll see if he can actually play at that high level. Well, he answered all those questions. But hopefully when we see the first spring practice this year and Mycah Pittman is out there, we go, oh, whew, we got one. And maybe one more like him. Maybe one more player like him where you say, all right. The thing about Jermaine and Keir Thomas, though, that was so key, and it started last year when you had the newcomers go through all their media availabilities, and they answered the questions and said, they were asked, who's reached out to you? And they all said the transfers names. They said, well, Jermaine and Keir Thomas. They're the ones who brought me, put their arm around my shoulder. Let's see if this next wave of guys is like that. Because it wasn't just about the production on the field. Those guys were forward movers for the culture of the team. They weren't passengers.
Well, that was the most exciting
changers.
aspect of what they brought to the table beyond the physical, which you had hoped for and you'd circled and thought, okay, they can contribute right away. We have an area of need. You can plug and play those guys. Turned out, in many cases, Keir Thomas and certainly Jermaine Johnson became better players than we even thought possible, as in ACC Defensive Player of the Year. But it was stunning to find out the ways that they bought in and created a flippant culture. And in trying to flip a locker room and trying to get everybody pulling in the same direction, that's certainly appreciated. It is surprising, but it is certainly appreciated. If you create the larger culture where that is the continued case, that the guys you identify to bring in to fill in needs that you can't fill in recruiting, given the world of recruiting today and really the new world order of that, that genre, if you will, that realm, that aspect of your job, that's huge. Absolutely, it's huge.
Well, and you can think about it, too, on the offensive side with Dylan Gibbons. I mean, all the stuff that he does off the field and what a boon that is for Florida State as a program that was much maligned when it came to any PR that came out about Florida State whatsoever for how many years was negative. And you have Dylan, who's not only a really good person off the field in terms of the money he donates, he uses NIL to forward other people's missions.
Right.
That's great. He's also your best offensive lineman, but you got to keep doing that. Especially now that you're bringing in multi-year transfers. I'm not saying that I'm concerned about Pittman per se. I'm just saying that when you do bring somebody in that's a multi-year addition, hopefully they can have impacts somewhere akin to a Keir Thomas or Jermaine Johnson or Dylan Gibbons.
But you do also know that is a fairy tale. You're not going to – I mean, this was a magical run of transfers. It really is amazing.
That still only got you 5 wins.
Well, right. Yeah. I mean, that's how much work there is to be done. But I'm saying that's just not going to be the norm. It's not, I don't think it's going to be ordinary for you to say, we're going to bring in this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and they're all going to be great contributors as well as awesome guys off the field and culture shifters in the locker room. I just don't think you haven't seen that. Most guys are in the portal for a reason. It's not always a good reason. It's not always bad, but a lot of times it's a mix and match. And there are two sides to those stories. And I suppose because we knew about certain guys that did come in here and didn't really contribute, that we had heard things, nothing criminal or anything like that. I don't want to besmirch those kids, but I would say that there were people that covered them who were like, yeah, well, we'll see what you get. You know what I mean? When you reach out to the people,
right. If they produce in their first game, everything might be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if not, their efforts might dissipate on a day-to-day basis. Jeff Cameron, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Federal Judge Robert Hinkle denied J.T. Burnett's motion to remain out of prison pending his appeal. Hinkle called the month-long trial full and fair, adding Burnett was convicted on 5 counts, including extortion, 2 counts of honest services mail fraud, 1 count of violating the Travel Act, and lying to the FBI. He was acquitted on 4 others. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Hinkle said Burnett's appeal is based on 3 main issues. 2 involved the jury's instructions, which were correct, and to which Mr. Burnett understandably did not object at the time, he wrote. In his ruling, Judge Hinkle said the defense tried to make this a trial about the FBI agents' handling of the investigation. Hinkle did extend a deadline for Burnett to report to prison from January 9th to January 23rd of 2022. Over a dozen of Second Harvest workers helped feed around 700 families at Governor Square Mall Saturday morning. CEO Monique Van Pelt said with their winter holiday food distribution, they wanted to address food insecurity, especially during another holiday season with COVID-19 still around. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by McEnmore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at McEnmoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Chance for scattered rain showers this afternoon, otherwise overcast skies. Daytime highs approaching 60, winds out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scattered rain showers likely tonight, lows dip down to about 47, overcast skies. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow. Scattered thunderstorms likely, high temperatures reach up to 51. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 54.
Wooden Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Wooden Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Wooden Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at widdenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Hold on, Tom. Is that Eddie again?
Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. Hey, what's up, guys? What are you doing?
Back on the golf course, Eddie? You don't play. Are you playing?
No, man. You know me. I don't know the difference between a 4-iron and a cesta. But
different sports.
I'm out here giving out gift cards, man. I'm delivering some gift cards for people for Christmas. So make sure you come get your gift cards. Call up, order them up. We can get them to you.
Greatest gift to open, especially, I think, out of a stocking.
Ooh,
stocking gift card from Gordo's or Bumpus is where it's at.
Hey, we like pantyhose, stockings, anything you got. We'll put them in there, baby.
Let's try to keep it clean. Take care of your town and your people like you do, Eddie. I'll take one of those gift cards. Thanks, brother.
You bet. You know, if you could wish for anything, Jeff, what would it be?
World peace. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
$7:00, bowling tournament gets underway, and if you were somebody who wanted to contribute to the JCS annual holiday bowling tournament, you just need to swing on by District 850. Everything is greatly appreciated. We certainly thank our friends at Gordo's for catering, obviously the fine folks at District 850 and the Guardian Ad Litem for children. So they're always excited whatever we're able to do, and I always appreciate everything you guys are able to do. So Tom's pumped, I'm pumped. We're gonna bowl. It's gonna be for charity. Kids gonna get some Christmas presents. Can't beat it. If you've been, maybe, I guess some folks get depressed. I get it, during the holiday times. It can be tough on a lot of people for a lot of reasons, but you want to get cheered up. Swing on by this. This is fun. This is good people doing good things in the community, meaning the folks that contribute and the fine people at Guardian Ad Litem and Gordo's and all that. I'm not talking about us. I'm just talking about that's everybody who comes out and helps out. We really, really, really appreciate that. So
for the teams that are listening out there, the Rock is going to be rolling for real around 7:15. So you do have a bit of a window there with the event starting at 7 to go grab some grub from Gordo's. District 850 kicking in some food as well. Go get your shoes and everything. Like, this is all. It's like a standard year. We're welcoming them back. You get your shoes on the house, your bowling's on the house, and we got some food set up for you as well. You got about a 15-minute window there if you want to get there right at 7. If you want to get there a few minutes earlier too, I'm sure the food will be waiting on you. So, and it'll be red hot and ready to go.
And if you're a gift giver and you just want to drop that off and ride the hell out, I got it. Everybody's busy. So whatever you got to do, please swing on by. Please help if you can. It's either... I would suggest it's either a gift card. They certainly appreciate those, or just a present for a little boy, little girl. Just drop them off. That's fine. Every year, we usually see an overabundance of kindness. So it's a good thing. Helps get you in the Christmas spirit. I'm bummed about basketball, and I'm also buoyed about Florida State basketball because we both kind of intimated we thought we were going to lose that game against UCF. And I don't know that I go into any game right now expecting wins. So take a little break, fellas. Through the holidays, take a little break, but no game tomorrow, unfortunately, against UNF as they figure out the situation with COVID, and I don't know which team, and it doesn't really matter at this point. Just know that the game is canceled, and so we'll throw for we'll shoot for post-holiday, see if we can get some games in. Whatever kind of practices need to take place and can take place, probably greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I got to work on some things.
There are some other things that you're not going to be able to really work on, Tom. It was funny. I was talking with a former player, and we were kind of going back through some of the numbers and some of the things that we've seen up to this point. And it's the first time in a long time that I wanted to look at this, double check this number. Yeah. So I'm not going to go with this because it's just not enough data points, but our numbers against the zone would suggest clueless.
Oh yeah.
And then
looks like 2011.
Yeah. And also the, not just our numbers against the zone being devastatingly bad, but the lack of a quality big man is really suggesting portends of problems the rest of the way.
Yeah, one of those things is not going away. The other, you can get better. You're allowed to come up with concepts to help beat the zone. But my guess is even if a team, and we get those numbers from Synergy at Warchant, haven't really needed to use them much so far. But if there's a team that has even a 5% zone usage rate on defense, I would imagine they're still going to be part of that 5%, maybe upgraded to 50 to 60% of possessions until we prove that we can get past it, that we can get by it and figure it out.
One thing I did like is that we made reference to it. We were kind of laughing about the fact that, listen, it's all relative. It's happening in the middle of a loss and it's frustrating, but at the same time, the experience, the wisdom, and the experience in terms of watching something look like something turn around to something else by the time you get to the last 15 games, Ham, kind of that look on his face of, well, here we are. I smiled because I think there was a recognition of some changes that are going to have to be made. I just wonder if there is anything you really can do. Yes, you can get better against the zone, and yes, you can teach it, and yes, we can talk about it. But I wonder if they just didn't lose too much from a year ago, and they have the realization in that moment, okay, well, this is the team we are. We haven't had to deal with this. It's frustrating to be back in this place. It's been a long time since we've been in a place where you kind of throw your hands to the sky. But this game, and it was the look that Stan and Leonard gave each other. They just kind of, in the midst of losing a game, you saw that stare, that sort of, okay, guess we're going back to the drawing board here and going to change the way we play. But what can you really change? What can you really, because they want to score in transition. They want to get out. But if you don't get stops, and if you're, if your idea of transition is taking the ball out of the net, well, then good luck. I mean, that's where we're at right now. They can't stop anybody off the bounce.
It's Christmas week, there's going to be a lot of cool things going on this week. A lot of gift giving and charitable causes and family and friends. And I'm sure there'll be basketball on the other side of Christmas week. I'm a big supporter of this basketball program, but right now, focusing on Christmas week and maybe the bowling tournament. I'm afraid about what we're going to, well, I think the next 10, 15 games may be even more ugly. I'm a little afraid of what we're about to see.
Preston asked a question that I appreciate because he's trying to help out. And we really, this is on me. It's been obviously a different approach this year. We did not have the bowling tournament last year because of COVID. And so I will say we didn't have the personnel to be able to kind of organize the way we wanted to going into the tournament. We desperately wanted to have the tournament because we knew having it would immediately mean that folks would try to help out, and it was all about the kids. But I don't know, Tom, we'll have to get back to folks. Preston represents a lot of people who have asked, how can those of us who live outside Tallahassee support your cause? Can we donate via the chat? And the answer is yes, you can.
Sort of. Sorry, that's not the graphic I was looking
Jeff
for.
is exaggerating alert.
That's what I was looking to click right
gal2.org and click on the donate tab.
There it is.
There it is. There it is. gal2.org. Click donate on the tab. I don't know if there's a way to note that this is in conjunction with the bowling tournament. I don't need the credit. It's not about that. I just know that the Guardian Ad Litem goes to great lengths to be sure that they organize donations, where they're from, and it helps them organize the year's events moving forward.
Yeah, I'll let you guys peek behind the curtain just a little bit. I would ordinarily, and we would both say, absolutely, you donate and we'll move the money straight ourselves from
absolutely.
YouTube. But
I had somebody do that, by the way.
But
yeah.
YouTube takes a big percentage off of contributions to the show. You can't do anything about that. So if you would like every cent of what you'd like to donate to go to this cause, then head to this link below at gal2.org. And the reason that is gal2 and not like, guardian ad litem.org, that goes directly to the Second Circuit of the Guardian ad litem, which is
that's
the Big
group
Bend
that
area.
we work with in
That
the
is
Big Bend
correct.
area. That's
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So gal2.org, click on the donate tab. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Siri, tell me a joke. The past, present, and future walk into a bar. It was tense.
All jokes aside, the trained professionals at Mac & More Systems are serious about Apple products. For all your Mac repairs, call Mac & More Systems at 894-3622. 894-3622.
While other gun stores come and go, Red Hills Arms remains Tallahassee's go-to local gun store for all your firearms needs. At Red Hills Arms, they're right on target. Stop by today and get welcomed in like family.
Hey guys, it's Greg Tish here. If you know me, you know how much I love to grill, smoke, and cook outside. With the holidays just right around the corner and the cooler weather, there's nothing better than a backyard fire pit or a custom outdoor kitchen. But where do you start? Well, you start at Hearth and Patio of Tallahassee. They have everything for gas grilling, charcoal, standalone grills, built-ins, custom kitchens, unique high-end fire pits, and you can even build your own pizza oven. And don't forget about maintaining your indoor fireplace. If it hasn't been used in a while, it's a good idea to have Hearth and Patio come take a look at it to make sure it's safe to use. Or you can replace the whole thing and transform the look and style of your room. If it has anything to do with fire, you need to call Hearth and Patio. Write this number down. It's 727-4282. That's 727-4282. Or you can always check out their website to view all their products and services at hearthpatiotallahassee.com.
When you need a plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. Just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours?
Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry.
4 hours?
I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to tread water.
8 hours?
Don't worry about us. We're fine.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service, right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mndlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Tulsa and Old Dominion. Let's go.
It's almost like the bowl games knew that the NFL was going to have a rescheduled second event today because there's only one bowl game.
Yeah, 2:30. Right when we get off, we can watch a little of the big matchup, Tom. I know you're pumped. Also, would mention that don't we have? Yeah, we got a game. Yeah, we got games. 2 games tomorrow. I do believe we've got we got games all week, baby. Games all week.
It's Capital One Bowl week.
I will tell you, I don't know how many of the bowl games you watch this weekend. Something tells me based on my Twitter feed that a lot of people may have noticed that Deion Sanders' Jackson State team got their head kicked in. Weren't competitive in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. I may have noticed that.
I didn't watch the game.
I didn't either.
But
turns out I didn't need to. That was an ass beating.
When I saw that final score, My first thought, I put it out there, was, is 10 a prime number? Is it?
No, I think a lot of people. Schadenfreude was alive and well over the weekend. I saw that number. I saw the beatdown. I saw the non-competitiveness. I saw them have to play somebody with a pulse and get throttled. But I would also say that I didn't watch that game, but I did watch BYU and UAB, and that was a great game. There were several games that were worth tuning into. Like, we had some knock 'em, sock 'em, like people caring.
Well, I saw a fair amount of the Saturday night NFL game, which we all knew was going to be good. And there it is, Indianapolis. They are a bear.
So the weirdest thing in terms of, I don't know why on this show, and I am my own worst curse. There's an initial impression of every game. We all have it, right? Well, the lines come out at the beginning of the week. It doesn't matter if it's college or pro, but in general, if you're a sporting guy or gal, you look at these numbers and you have your initial impression. You've learned not to be impulsive or reactive. You don't just 1 second after seeing that go, oh, I'm going to make that bet, because you also know that most of the time there's a reason for that number. So you look in, especially these days, a little bit more into weather. We're at the time of year now, in the NFL especially, where weather is a big to-do, okay? Is that total a little low for your liking? Well, find out if there are 30-mile-per-hour winds. Find out if it's snowing. Find out. Then secondly, with COVID protocol, a lot of times you're like, okay, well, are they missing a starting lineman? Are they missing a running back? Are they missing, in this case, 2 quarterbacks? Whatever it might be.
I think it was weather last night. That's why they hit the under in Tampa.
Is that what it was?
Everything about the weather.
Yeah. So I always look at, before I pull the trigger on that. But the funniest thing was I first guessed it on this show last week when you brought it up. New England, Indianapolis. And I went, oh, Indianapolis. They're going to win that game. Despite what New England has been doing to everybody, that felt like a good matchup for Indianapolis, a team that is trending in the right direction. I felt like they would do enough to fluster and frustrate a non-dynamic offense in New England. And Mac Jones would be pedestrian. He was pedestrian. Indianapolis was physical, played at home, played well at home, played good defense, ran the football. They've got one of the 2 best running backs in the league. And they don't ask Carson Wentz to be great. He doesn't have to be. Now, he's not bad either. But that's just kind of the way they play. And you know that they're trending to being one of those teams you don't want to play right now. You just don't want to bother with them. And so that game, but I didn't bet it. That's why I said my own worst enemy. My own worst enemy. I looked at that game and immediately went, well, I could see this all day. I almost named the damn score.
That conference, though, feels like it is going to be, it's the thinnest of margins already in the NFL. Just look at some of these games yesterday, including our own. But Arizona, Detroit, what the hell is that?
Beatdown is what that was.
But it shows you how 1-32, because that's technically what they were entering the kickoff of the game, how close the margin is. But the AFC is going to be even closer than is typical. Think about all the low-scoring games, relatively low-scoring games compared to 2 or 3 seasons ago, that all these teams are capable of playing. Kansas City's defense is good. New England's defense is good. Indianapolis can play defense. When the Titans get Derrick Henry back, it's going to be fewer possessions in that game, should they even make the playoffs in the first place. The battle between Cincinnati and Denver, low-scoring game.
15-10.
Right.
1 touchdown. By the way, they threw the ball on first down in the second half. Cincinnati, with Joe Burrow, threw the ball on first down in the second half 1 time. 56-yard touchdown. But, I did not get to watch every second of that game, but was there a weather problem there? What are we doing?
All I know is the race to 24 looks as live as it has in maybe 10 years in that AFC playoff bracket. 24 is enough to cover most of those games, I think.
Well, I think we're all benefiting from the fact that this feels wide open. I get that Green Bay is going to be the 1 seed and they're going to be hosting, and they have a quarterback that is obviously Hall of Famer, all that stuff. But there they are on the verge of losing to a backup quarterback in Baltimore who's without a secondary. It was weird. Hour number 2, fourth coming. Stay with.
Up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show, live and local on Real Talk 93.3, WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The jury now has the case in the manslaughter trial of former Minnesota police officer Kim Potter, who says she meant to use her taser instead of her gun when she killed Dante Wright as he tried to drive away from a traffic stop. For second-degree manslaughter, the state must prove she acted with culpable negligence, meaning she consciously took a chance of causing death or great bodily harm. Also at townhall.com, Progressive Democrat Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez blasting what she calls the old boys club in the Senate. Bob Agnew reports.
Ocasio-Cortez used an appearance on MSNBC's Morning Joe to urge Democrats to, in her words, crack down on the Senate. Frustrated over the chamber's inability to pass controversial legislation like the Build Back Better program, which easily passed the House, AOC decried the Senate's low number of women, calling it an old boys club. She also repeated her calls to end the filibuster, which allows a minority party, in this case Republicans, more influence by requiring that bills be passed by a 60-vote threshold. Bob Agnew reporting.
Millions of Americans traveling for the holidays.
More than 109 million Americans will travel for the holidays, according to the AAA. That's about 34% more than last year. That means the number of travelers this holiday season is almost equal to 2019 levels. Most everybody will go by car, but airlines are seeing a big boost in the number of passengers, a 184% increase, says the AAA. Ticket prices for Christmas week are up 5%. Car rentals have increased an average of 20%. And although gas prices have been falling, gas is $3.31 a gallon today. Last year, it was about $1.09 cheaper. I'm Rita Foley.
On Wall Street, stocks remain deep in the red. The Dow off 532 points. More at townhall.com.
So I invested in one of those fancy new exercise bikes. Without a doubt, a very special tool to help me get healthier. The problem is 3 days go by, then 4, and I've done nothing. And then it's night 5, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table, and I look down at myself, and I can't help but just laugh. Because there I am, wearing the exercise t-shirt that came with the bike, and I'm eating 2 corn dogs. And I think we'd all agree, the special tool only matters if we use it to our benefit. At United Faith Mortgage, we believe we have an advantageous tool for you. Our mortgage team is an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions. There's no middleman. And often, this allows us to get you a better rate on your refinance or new home purchase, which can save you monthly and lifelong money. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Middle Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
This is Kyle, Service Manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Man, I will say this. Every year I get asked this, And I've never asked you, what's the best Christmas present you ever received? Like, what's the one as a kid? Listen, you have a loving family. We're both very fortunate to grow up with brothers and sisters and great moms and dads and grandparents and all that good stuff. So very, very fortunate. It's another reason why I love this tournament, this bowling tournament that we're doing, which is 7:00 tonight. Again, if you're dropping off gifts, they're expecting you. If you want to swing on by District 850, drop off gift cards, presents, whatever it might be, everything is greatly appreciated. So the kids might have a similar Christmas to the one we're describing here, where they get to open gifts too, and they wouldn't otherwise get to without your contributions and your help. So thank you in advance for doing that. You don't even have to be bowling. You don't have to be associated in any way. It's just something that sounds good to you. Swing on by and do that. I assure you, we do greatly appreciate it, and so do my friends at the Guardian Ad Litem. But I was wondering, like, because every time you think about Christmas, most of the time you think about your youth. As adults, you're kind of like, okay, I get it, but it's about the kids. And I always remember certain gifts that I got, but mine is so cliche. It's a Mongoose BMX. I remember when I opened my Mongoose BMX, and I was like, oh.
You opened it? Was it in a giant box?
It was wrapped. It's a bike. You can see it was a bike. I knew it was a bike, but I was just laughing. I was like, oh, there it is, because I had been asking for it. And then when I saw it, it was black and yellow. And I remember I was blown away by that thing. I really didn't care about anything else that I got after I got that. I was like, that's the one. That's the thing I always wanted.
So I wiped up on the lower third there, the donate link, because we have such a huge segment of our viewership that is not in the state of Florida or in the Tallahassee area. So head to gal2.org and click on the donate tab if you want to support the cause that we are supporting tonight. We appreciate your support. What my parents used to do on the couch or in the living room was, oddly enough, it was kind of backwards. So the gifts from Santa were not wrapped. It's just what it was. So you
right.
The idea being
why would they? He just dropped them off.
Yeah, he just dropped them off, and then the gifts from my folks were wrapped.
I think I've told you the story. My wife laughed at me years ago. I would always tell her to wrap the presents, and she'd go like, well, "That's nice of me, right? Hey, babe, get to wrapping the presents."
Yeah.
But anyhow, she would say, "Well, we don't have to wrap the ones from Santa," and then I'd go, "Which ones are we designating are from Santa?" She's like, "You just want credit." I'm like, "You're damn right. I bought that PS4. Santa didn't do a damn thing. Make sure you wrap that one."
Also, in general, it is kind of a thoughtful thing to have the more expensive presents be from the parents, not just for your own credit, but also, for the other kids in the class. If they're on the playground and it's like, well, Santa got me a PS4. Well, what the hell?
Santa gave me socks.
You get written up all the time. I don't. Santa gave me a pair of socks. What the hell's going on with Santa? He doesn't like me. So that helps. It was hockey goalie pads and a street
makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
They also got me. It was gorgeous. So my favorite player at the time was Patrick Waugh, and he had been traded to the Colorado Avalanche. And there was a goalie helmet that was Colorado Avalanche.
Oh,
and
buddy.
It was gorgeous. Oh, I didn't cry from joy as a kid. I wasn't in those videos.
Normally do that
unless they get like a dog or something.
Oh,
kids just like start weeping.
Or their father comes home from serving in the military that they haven't seen in a year, and he comes around the corner.
That's a better example.
And then we all cry.
Yeah, that's a better example. Yes, than just a dog. But yeah,
right.
But that was close, and they still have it on the JVC camera. I could not believe it, and I just remember that whole day. That whole day, I was outside. Something that most kids don't do these days either. I was outside. Dad helped set up, meaning Dad set up from scratch the net with the PVC pipe. He was pissed. That took about 2.5, 3 hours.
I'm sure it did.
Yep. But then there it was. I was out there. Boom. These pads are way too big. I'm all leg pads and
making plays.
It was amazing.
Missed it in the first hour. I'll recap here. Mycah Pittman on his way to Florida State University. Given that we have a glaring and obvious need for a wide receiver, this was welcome news for Pittman. He's a former 4-star recruit. You know that he's got NFL blood. We remember it very well. Could have used it last night, actually. That and guns.
I think we could use his kick and punt return skills over Jalen Darden. I think he today is better than Jalen Darden is in the pros.
Not a big fan of Jalen Darden either. But former 4-star recruit says yes to wide receiver. Now, again, I don't know what we're getting per se. I know what he was thought to be coming out of high school. I know he's, 6'1", 6'2", 200 pounds, thereabouts. Reputation of having great hands. If you don't believe it, ask him. He'll tell you about his hands.
His brother's a player too.
Yes, of course. His brother's a real player. And maybe Mycah becomes that guy for Florida State. It seems slightly unlikely that he'd be as good as his brother, but I don't know. Maybe it's his time to shine. Let's get here. He was excited about coming here. He talked about that. I like any receiver at this point that says yes to Florida State. Any of them. Any of them. You're like, oh, we got a guy from Old Dominion who was a 1-star. Good, get him in here. I'm sure he can play. Let's go. Better than the guys we got. So I was excited about that, primarily because, again, he's already showcased the ability to catch and return punts. Boom. We know that something plus just happened to Florida State University on the football field. We realize that immediately before he catches a pass. You know something plus just happened in the transfer portal for Florida State. He will catch a punt. He can return it. Okay.
Yeah, I think before any targets, that means that you've got about a 30 to 40-yard head start on any football game that we played last year, right?
It's crazy.
30 to 40 yards.
So he described that procedure, the process, I should say, of committing to Florida State and Mike Norvell. I would strongly encourage you, if you want to learn more about him and just some of the other aspects that went into this, read Michael Langston's piece on warchant.com. It's thorough, very thorough. And he talked about why he wanted to leave Oregon. I don't know that we can glean insight to the process that has so far been very, very positive for Florida State just yet. But something struck me when I read the article and some of his quotes about the approach that clearly Mike Norvell and staff have. And that was that they're willing to listen to a kid when he talks about the reasons they want to be in the transfer portal to begin with. It's not just like mercenary, I need a receiver. Oh, that guy was a 4-star receiver. Let's recruit him. There's a vetting process from both sides. We know how this works. At the end of the day, Mike has said a lot of times that it's not that we just want kids because we have holes to fill, and that it's not just that, hey, this is a position of need, this is a segment group that could use depth, but rather we're looking for the right kids and the right fit. Now, sometimes that's what coaches say when they fail on signing day to bring in a kid at a position of need. Well, it's not just about bringing in kids. We're looking for the right kind of kid. And that causes me typically to roll my eyes. So when Dugan's failed miserably on signing day, and then Mike said, well, we're looking for the right kind of kids. Now, obviously, we have a need to fill in the transfer portal. I thought, yeah, I'm sure it's about the right kind of kids. That's why we didn't sign anybody at receiver over for an early signing period. But two things can be true at the same time. I think he's accurate. I think he's telling the truth when he says that when they look in the transfer portal, yes, they obviously look for kids who can play. That's obvious. But I do think they're looking for certain kinds of kids to further the goal of laying the foundation that he refers to all the time. That seems to have been self-evident in that the guys that did impact this team this year, as Tom pointed out last hour, weren't just good on the field. They were good leaders in the locker room. Their work ethic, their day-to-day preparation served as great examples for some of the other younger kids that we're trying to get something out of, kids that we did recruit, kids that have been here for a while and maybe needed to see what it's like to be, for lack of a better term, a pro. Okay. Now, I don't know if Mycah Pittman fits that category. Many would argue, certainly at Oregon, that he doesn't. The people at Oregon would tell you he quit on his team. What you're getting is a kid who took his ball home and pouted because he wasn't getting enough receptions and he wasn't getting enough targets and he didn't like the way that the offense was called, and therefore he quit on his team. That may or may not be true. I don't know. Certainly the optics don't look good.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
The optics of one Mario Cristobal too. Sometimes you have a clunker. You'd have a clunker.
So I don't know. We don't know all these kids' stories. We know from covering this team that what gets out about a player or a segment group or a staff member isn't always accurate. It doesn't always paint the complete picture because we're here day to day, hour to hour at practices. We've got people there who have these conversations. So it's easier for the local folks to know a little bit more. I'm not going to pretend to know everything that there is to know about Mycah Pittman, but I do know he can return punts. I know he's athletic as hell. He's coming from an athletic family, an NFL family. I know his brother's a really, really good player. I know that he can return punts, as I said, and that he's got size, speed, hands. Okay, this is a desperate position of need. If you vet and you have the conversation that I'm alluding to, like Mike Norvell did, and you hear the reasons, and then you give him the set of expectations of what it's going to be like when you do get here, what you have to do in order to, I guess, get the number of targets you'd like to see on a day-to-day basis for that to happen. Where frustration happens and where disappointment occurs is when expectations have not been set and explained properly. That's true in the job. That's true anywhere, right? If you don't know what's expected of you and you're not told specifically what's expected of you, and then you go out and you don't fulfill those needs because it hasn't been relayed, then both parties end up very frustrated. I don't think Coach Norvell ever goes into these things and says, all right, well, we got a guy. He wants to come here. We desperately need a guy at that position. I'm going to take him no matter what. I actually do believe him when he says they sit down and have those conversations about what those expectations are. And you know why I believe that? Jermaine Johnson said so.
Yeah, and Jermaine is,
could have gone anywhere.
The quintessential ambassador for this university.
Could have gone anywhere, more importantly. And he was not told what he wanted to hear per se, or what you would think he'd want to hear, but rather, you're going to have to work really hard. I'll make you a better player. Yes, you can contribute right away. Yes, you're in a position of need, but I'm going to need you to set an example and to be this, and I'm going to ride you. I have to be able to ride you because you're as a better player. If I'm able to ride you, then the others have to get in line.
Yeah, early signing day plus this past weekend's developments, and I'll include Caden Lyles in the weekend developments, are only the beginning of the changes we're going to see. There are going to be coaching changes between now and January the 15th, I would think.
I would think,
yeah.
yes.
At least one or two, maybe either side of the ball, maybe both on one side of the ball. But you got to have those guys entrenched, ready to go before the final signing day, which is in February. Then you've got spring practice with those new coaches, so you've got a new angle to cover. These transfers that are coming in. Pittman is coming in as an early enrollee. He's got 2 years to play. You want to get him involved right away. So he'll be enrolled here at Florida State. I believe in the Michael article it said January 3rd. But then there's also, 32 open slots total for this year. We'll see if we can fill all of them. But the transfer portal is not closed when 2021 is over. It continues on. The transfer portal is eternal. It's unbelievable, this thing. There'll be more kids in January and February. There might be a little bit of lull for spring practices, but then once spring practice concludes for these programs, there's going to be a ton more. JUCO kids as well. So there is a huge amount of change still yet to come. Even when you combine the transfers that we got last week with Bless Harris and the ESD.
What you know about Bless Harris, Tom Glenn?
You were so ready for that. And ESD, you're only maybe 55% of the way there of the change that you're about to see. And I'm not even talking about the coaching staff. This is an overhaul that's coming. Wait till you see that group that runs out of the tunnel against Duquesne. I'm not saying that they're going to be world beaters. I'm saying that the roster is going to be very different than the one that you saw at the conclusion of this season.
Better be. They won 5 games last year, and they're still in the process.
25 to 32 brand new kids. That's a lot.
Can't be enough. You know how when the new teams in professional sports enter into a league and they say, all right, Kraken, you get to take a player from each team that's not protected, build your roster. So Seattle says, all right, we shall do that. For Florida State at the end of the year, I went, who would I protect on this roster if the process were the same? And who would I strongly encourage? Take it on down the road. Perhaps play elsewhere where their services are appreciated and wanted and even impactful. And I realized that, my goodness gracious, there just weren't that many guys I'd be willing to protect. And that told me all I needed to know about where we are and where we still have to go. Because if you go segment by segment, Tom, you'll find if you engage in the process, it's tough. There aren't too many guys that you say, we absolutely have to protect him from somebody else.
You mentioned Seattle. It's my hope that on March 17th, if they have a hockey game in Seattle, that they have an alternate jersey for the McKraken, right? And you got an Irish sea monster.
That would be great. That would be great. They could have fun with that. You should call them with the idea, or at least email. I am curious if we all do that, if we all went through every group. Now, it's interesting because there's several members of the secondary I'd protect. After that,
defensive interior, if we get both Coop and Love it back. I mean, Coop's already committed, but, to return.
But it's a tough job, everybody. Thank you, John. I thought it was a great analogy as well. Go ahead and do that. Have some fun with that. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Applications, onboarding, payroll, termination. Business owners and managers, these are the processes that take away too much time from what you do best. But what if there was a locally owned, responsive solution that would charge you a fraction of the big national payroll companies? Sound too good to be true? It's not. North Florida Payroll Services is Tallahassee owned for nearly 15 years. And in that time, their prices have never changed. The reason North Florida Payroll Services can do that? Exceptional customer service that constantly evolves with the latest technology. From application to termination, for turnkey service for your payroll and HR services, trust a Tallahassee expert and save yourself time and money. North Florida Payroll Services. Online at northfloridapayroll.com.
Our partners at ISF know you want to do amazing things. You have big ideas and goals for the future. For over 40 years, ISF has focused on solving the future for state government through strategy, process, and technology. As a national management and IT consulting firm, ISF has the expertise to transform strategies, refine processes, and implement solutions to lead you in today's changing environment. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future. Jeff Cameron here, and mark it down. Wednesdays on my show, we're giving away which wicked sandwiches. That's right. Tune in to the Jeff Cameron Show every Wednesday for your chance at a free wicked 5 meats and 3 cheeses of deliciousness every week on the JCS.
Hi, this is the legendary Mary Bush Smith inviting you to tune in every Sunday morning from 8 to 9 o'clock a.m. for Sunday Morning Gospel. We'll feature our sponsor, TLC Chiropractor, Dr. Gregory Eisman, 850-222-5700.
Your home is where your memories live, where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Florida Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for over 75 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. I'm Andy Cohen with Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. Please call me at 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM.
When some slithery, slimy something shows up uninvited in my home, I want it gone. Now. Not next Tuesday, not tomorrow. Today. Pretty sure I'm not sleeping knowing that thing is crawling around in my house. That's why I call Paul's Termite and Pest Control. Here in Tallahassee, Paul's guarantees same-day service if I call before 1. Ants, roaches, mice, wasps, fleas, whatever it is, Paul's responds with guaranteed same-day service. Pretty sure I've never heard that from any other pest company. Guess that's an advantage to being a locally owned and operated company like Paul's Termite and Pest Control. They're here and make things happen fast.
We at Paul's know when you have some pest or rodent in your home, you want it out now. That's why in Tallahassee, we guarantee same-day service. You call us before 1, we'll be there before 5, guaranteed. That's our commitment to you. The health and protection of North Florida friends and neighbors is the reason we love our jobs.
For the elimination of termites or any other pests.
And a greener lawn, too.
Call Paul's. We'll get them all.
Learn more at callpauls.com.
Clean, renewable energy means fresher air, healthier residents, new green jobs, and a stronger, more resilient community. How we get there is up to you. Share your input today to help shape the Tallahassee of tomorrow. Take the Clean Energy Survey at talgov.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Over and over and over again. And I will continue, at least through the rest of the show, to remind you tonight. Go ahead and put it up there, Tommy. It is time to bowl. JCS Annual Holiday Bowling Tournament beginning at 7 o'clock. Not that far away now. I'm really excited. We always talk about the charitable aspect, as we should. It's the number one reason for doing this. It's why we do it. It's the thing that brings joy to the heart. But I really like bowling, and I never bowl. We haven't bowled, Tom, since this event not last year, but the year before. At least I haven't. I don't know if you have. You're sneaking out on the weekends, not telling me.
Oh, for
To
months.
go bowling, yeah.
For months.
I'm prepping, Jeff.
It's a bad habit.
But
bowl?
850, District 850, 7 o'clock. And I bring it up again. If you are interested in helping out and providing toys and or gift cards for kids that could use your help this holiday season, please swing on by. You don't even have to be part of the event. Just swing on by and drop off your present, whatever you can do, or your gift card. I know they strongly encourage gift cards again because of the versatility. But if you could, please do that. We appreciate that. Also, to support the guardian ad litem of the Big Ben, if you're not in town, if you go to GAL2, it's the number 2, gal2.org and click on the donate tab. You can donate there too. So thank you. But back to bowling, would we say 140? Is that our goal? That's how bad we are?
Yeah, I think that's a robust goal too. We'll see. We need that pin action.
You don't have a lot of faith today, buddy. You're not feeling good, are you?
About the bowling, no. I feel good. Yeah, I feel good about humanity. I think we're going to be. I think we're going to be very happy by the end of the night with our fair city once again standing tall for a great organization that could really use your help. But as far as the scores go, I think that third game is going to be the decisive one. I think I hit triple digits in the second game. I don't know about the first game. The first game is going to be pretty ugly.
Sometimes your first game's the best game. It's like the first swing of the day on the golf course.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
I'm feeling a 71.
I'm telling you, man, I totally get it why the PGA Tour hopes like hell that Tiger plays golf into his 60s. Because there's still nothing like flipping over there, even in a tournament like that, and watching them execute shots. Now, obviously, I'm mesmerized by the kids, by watching Charlie swing a golf club, and you're like, really? You're that good already? I mean, everything about it. The swing is exactly like his father's. It's all brilliant. It's incredible. You just, oh, goodness gracious. But Tiger hitting approach shots to within a foot of the pin. Tell me you're not just, you couldn't help yourself. I watched a lot of that, and football was on.
Yeah, I did not watch one play of the 1 o'clock window. I watched that whole thing on Sunday.
Did you really? So you were even more into it.
Oh, you could any shot you want to hear about it. Yeah, right here. I got it. It's in here.
I also continue to crack up watching John Daly just light up heater after heater as they're walking down the fairway with his son. My man doesn't care.
He wasn't walking down the fairway. He was in the cart all day.
Well, he had a cigarette in his hand at all times.
Yep. He is Tampa Santa, isn't he?
He is exactly who you think he is.
He is Tampa Ozona.
If they would have let him pop a beer, he would have done so right then and there. But, man, swing's still good. Swing's still pretty. Way past parallel. Way past parallel.
So, yeah, if you were going to the Chi-Chi Rodriguez golf course holiday party and there was a Santa there, it would look exactly like John Daly looked this weekend. That would be the guy.
I laughed, but watching Tiger, watching Charlie, that was really cool. And it was just good to see him back out there. And it made me realize that's their hope, right? The rising stars, and there are a ton of them in the world of golf right now. All the young players are mesmerizingly good. But nobody can cause you to be transfixed on non-essential tournaments like Tiger Woods.
No, well, and then now Charlie too. Because there was the viral shot last year where he hit, I think it was a 5-wood or a 3-wood.
5-wood, yeah, around the bend
right.
To set up an eagle, yes.
Well, that kid already is a savant at putting already. That's scary. That's going to translate. And then
He'll also tell you about it.
Oh, he will. I think that's irrespective if dad's lining him up or not. He's already got it. Whatever that is, that thing is like a paint bucket to him. It's not a hole. And then the shot he hit on 16 from whatever it was, 165, where he went between the pin and the water when no one else did. Nobody pro or amateur alike. He's got something that, to me, he's already worth more in terms of media rights than any player in college right now. Any player in college.
So this gets interesting. We start talking about what an NIL deal looks like for football players. Imagine if he chooses to play college golf. Now, he'll never need money, and obviously whatever. But look at that game. And I think the number one thing isn't that he can play. That's a given. If you grow up and Tiger Woods is your dad and you play at all, you're probably blessed with certain attributes, certain skills. And certainly if he's bothered to teach you at all, which apparently he has, you're going to be in a position to succeed.
Yeah, the thing that tells me that he is willing to, well, yes, because Tiger isn't flipping out when a good shot happens. He's like, that's what happens.
But also, and I think this is fascinating for all athletes. We talk about this a lot. This is not a golf discussion. This is about confidence being the number one factor in success. Now, obviously, bigger, stronger, faster equates. I get it. But if you're saying that somebody has the requisite skill set to play a professional sport, let's just assume that's the starting point for all of these conversations, that the person is amongst the elite of the elite of the elite. Okay. Now the relative comparisons can be made. So we know, for example, you can be a bad quarterback in the NFL. You're also less than 1% of the population that's capable of playing NFL and making the NFL and playing quarterback, right? So even if you're bad, you're still one of the best players to ever do it. Like, just because it's that hard to get to that league with those players. So the number one thing I always look for in all these sports, especially when you're dealing with prodigy, especially when you're dealing with expectations, outside expectations, and the weight of said expectations, is whether or not a player blessed with that skill set, that acumen for the game at a very young age, those hips, the ability to turn the way that he does, all of those things, that club head speed, whatever it might be, right? Is, can you handle the weight of those expectations? Can you still play with immense confidence, standing over a ball with thousands of people, millions of people watching you, and you know that those expectations are that you're going to be as good as your father? Your father is arguably the greatest player to ever live, and if he's not, he's the second best player to ever live. So fine, let's not nitpick. Either way, he's an iconoclast. He's somebody that has transcended the sports world in a way that, I don't know, in my lifetime, 5 to 7 people ever have, maybe less. And now you got to go execute, and you're playing with him, with the whole world watching, and you're not nervous at all. And you execute those shots and those putts. And not only are you not nervous, you got a little what for to you. I mean, after each striped shot is the spin, the walk, the quick pick up the tee. I'm like, I know where that is. That's dead down the middle. That is insane. That is what, if you're jealous about anything, that to me is something to be jealous about. Like the ability to block out all that other stuff. It's not the skill. That seems to be a given. It's the blocking out of all that other stuff. And an individual game, because in a team sport like football, all the time I bring this up, it's really hard to get nervous unless you're a quarterback or a kicker. It's very difficult to get nervous unless you're a quarterback or a kicker. Then you can be especially nervous, because as a kicker, obviously we all know, as the man in the arena, as you walk out, this is it. Either you make it or you miss it. Either let people down or you win the game. And those conditions can be difficult. And obviously you're dealing with wind and everything else, and all eyes are on you. Quarterback, you've got to pull the trigger. You've got to read a defense. You're going to touch the ball in crunch time on every play. So what you do and the decisions you make, pre-snap and otherwise, are all going to obviously decide whether or not you win or lose a game. But as a position player, you're a defensive end, you're a right guard, you're a safety. You have an assignment based on a look.
Yeah, but you can let a lot of people down if you play poorly at right guard. Saw that last night.
Alex Kappa is raising his hand right now. But I don't think he was nervous. He was just busy getting pummeled.
No, he might have been about halfway through the game saying, oh, my God.
Whoa. I will tell you this. In a physical matchup in which you're going to see somebody repeatedly, that is to say, this play ends, he doesn't go away. The bad man does not go home. I'm now going to have to see him again. You're not nervous, but there is a stark reality that hits you when somebody is bigger, stronger, faster, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's not nerves. That's fear. That's frustration. That's, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You've heard people say this about Ndamukong Suh, like the first time that they ever had to block Ndamukong Suh in his prime, where the guy's just bigger, stronger, and meaner. What am I going to do? That dude can pick me up off the ground. I'm 320 pounds. He's going to pick me in the air. Aaron Donald does this.
Aaron Donald right now
does it to people on the regular, and they're not weak. They're not small. They're technically sound. Reggie White did it to people all the time. Nobody was nervous.
Cam Jordan did it to Tristan last night. Well, that never happens.
That happened twice last night, but he destroyed Kappa a couple times too. That's just Kappa, man. He's got a family. That was, T-Cat. Oh, yeah. God, grown ass man. It reminded me when Derwin James picked up that offensive lineman for Florida.
Oh, the right tackle.
And just picked him up in the air and threw him.
And then we never blitzed him again in his career here.
I was like, sir,
it was a great decision. You're
a man. You just got picked up by a safety.
You know what I think we should do? We should line him up as far away from the
Never
football
let
as
him have an
possible.
impact on the game,
Let's
guys.
have him play center field.
Yeah, that was frustrating. Anyhow, now you got me thinking about Kappa getting beat down in a way that no man should ever get beat down. That was humiliating.
Yeah, Charlie Woods didn't feel that way about his performance.
Ever.
No.
He stood over every shot with supreme confidence. It's remarkable. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Lake Jackson, located in northern Tallahassee, is experiencing another dry down event. The Florida Department of Environmental Protection said the Rim of Porter sinkhole was exposed again as of December 1st. DEP said this is the third dry down of 2021, with 2 others in June and July of this year. Although it's not as dry as it was in the summertime, it is still an interesting sight. If you choose to visit the area, DEP urges caution, saying to watch your footing and never walk in the sinkhole itself. A teenager was killed following a head-on collision in rural Suwannee County Friday night. According to Florida Highway Patrol, a 19-year-old male from Wellburn, Florida, was driving eastbound in a sedan along County Road 252 near 99th Lane just before midnight. The teen reportedly crossed the center line and drove into the path of an oncoming pickup truck driven by another teenager. The driver of the sedan was pronounced dead at the scene, according to FHP. The other driver suffered minor injuries in the crash. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at macklemoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Chance for scattered rain showers this afternoon. Otherwise, overcast skies. Daytime highs approaching 60. Winds out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scattered rain showers likely tonight. Lows dip down to about 47. Overcast skies. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow. Scattered thunderstorms likely. High temperatures reach up to 51. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 55.
Did you know metal roofs' survivability far exceeds that of traditional shingle roofs? It's time to consider a metal roof from Metal Roofing Sales of Tallahassee. We provide the best quality, least expensive material and accessories in the area, as well as material pickup and delivery. Our painted panels qualify for the City of Tallahassee's low-interest Energy Star loan program also. And don't forget about our veteran law enforcement discount. Give Metal Roofing Sales a call today at 536-9123, 536-9123.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Hold on, Tom. Is that Eddie again?
Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad.
Hey, what's up, guys? What are you doing? Back on the golf course, Eddie? You don't play. Are you playing?
No, man. You know me. I don't know the difference between a 4-iron and a cesta. But
different sports.
I'm out here giving out gift cards, man. I'm delivering some gift cards for people for Christmas. So make sure you come get your gift cards. Call up, order them up. We can get them to you.
Greatest gift to open, especially, I think, out of a stocking.
Ooh,
stocking gift card from Gordo's or Bumpus is where it's at.
Hey, we like pantyhose, stockings, anything you got. We'll put them in there, baby.
Let's try to keep it clean. Take care of your town and your people like you do, Eddie. I'll take one of those gift cards. Thanks, brother.
You bet. You know, if you could wish for anything, Jeff, what would it be?
World peace. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, production of the Warchant.com multimedia network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Looks like Evans will be okay moving forward. If you're a Buck fan or you listen to him here on 93.3, wanted to give you that update. Fournette and Godwin look like they may miss time. I would suggest this moving forward. If you're Tampa and you can't get the 1 seed, doesn't look likely to get the 2 seed at this point. Okay, look, let's just be honest here. We said it today in the Scuttlebucks. The Bucks do not look like a team that's going to win the Super Bowl. Fine. If I were placing odds on who's going to win the Super Bowl, for example, I think Green Bay is a better bet right now than Tampa Bay. Now, that said, that's fine, whatever. You already have the Lombardi Trophy in your back pocket. You're the reigning Super Bowl champions. You cashed in the chips when you made the play for Tom Brady and you said, all right, anything else after this is going to be gravy. Let's try it again. Let's run it back, see what we can do, bring everybody back. And if it's to be, it's to be. If we're put in a position where we got a chance to make a run at it again, let's give it a go. The only way that's possible anymore is to win a bunch of road games like you did a year ago, which is not impossible, and to be completely healthy. So I'm sitting all those guys. And if we amass losses, even against bad teams like Carolina or the Jets, then so be it. Because record is far less important at this point if you're not going to have the home field advantage. Anyhow, record is far less important now than health. So getting into the postseason with, and as a division winner, which the Bucs will be, if they win one more game, and being healthy, that's everything. That's the whole thing, is being able to roll out there with a healthy Fournette, a healthy Godwin, a healthy Evans, a healthy Gronk, a healthy AB, a healthy Brady. All those guys are healthy. And there are guys on defense too that we talk about. Then that's the all you can hope for, and then roll your dice and see what happens.
Yeah, I feel like Green Bay is the strongest candidate of all across the NFL right now because the AFC is a mess. Now, Kansas City is emerging, and they're getting better at the right time, and that's a scary proposition for everybody. If they do it for a couple more weeks and they sort the mess that is the AFC West, I should say, which has been a really compelling division all season long, then maybe it's them and Green Bay as the two prohibitive favorites. But the AFC top to bottom is largely unpredictable.
That's it's going to be awesome.
That bracket's going to be amazing. In the NFC, Dallas is dangerous, but flawed. Arizona's star is falling. We'll see what comes of that. The Rams, kind of a mess. It's hard to tell. 49ers, emerging-ish.
Well, Garoppolo, if he's going to play like that, he's been the most efficient quarterback in the NFC the last few weeks.
Yeah, the Bucs, as it stands right now, their potential three opponents in the first round would be San Francisco,
Don't want to play that matchup,
or the Rams, or the Saints again. And how you feel about those particular opponents tells you how you feel about the Bucs, which is, I'm not so sure. Even though that game's in Tampa, I'm not so sure. Get healthy, give yourself the best chance, and we'll see.
Well, that is everything, though, because Godwin has already racked up over 1,100 yards receiving. He's got a catch percentage of nearly 78%. That is a career high. He's caught 77% of Brady's targets, averaging over 8.7 yards per target. If he's gone, they're screwed to a large degree. Now, obviously, that will be filled to some extent by Antonio Brown. No matter character flaws or not, Antonio Brown is a huge difference maker. He's coming back from suspension. He'll be playing.
Get ready to put on your disappointed face. Godwin is out for the year.
No, well, for the postseason.
Torn ACL came back worse than it thought. The MRI came back worse than they thought.
Well, did they not know how to perform an MRI?
That's why Rap Sheet sometimes goes way too fast and over his own skis. They had an MRI to confirm what was suspected to be a sprained MCL yesterday, 5 minutes ago, per Ian Rappaport on Twitter. It is a torn ACL. Done for the year. This was a money year for Chris Godwin.
Well, and he's going to get paid because I just laid out the numbers through 14 games, which are career highs. He was simply spectacular, and that'll be that. Well, it was a good run. Good run. Good thing we won it last year.
Hey, it's the Brashad Perryman show. There you go.
Well,
AB and Evans.
And Evans, well, yeah, and Gronk. Guess who it's not? O.J. Howard, who got all of 10 snaps in a game where you had no receivers. They still didn't roll his ass out there. But for 10 snaps, that'll hurt your feelings. That's a toughie. Well, at least now you know it. And now you're definitely not saddled with expectations of championship football, buddy. If anything happens now, it's gravy.
Yeah, I think one of the more difficult things over the next few weeks will be that particular position in the offense is a unique position.
Yeah.
And it's one that Larry Fitzgerald played, Hines Ward played, among others, in Bruce Arians' coaching stops across the last 10 to 20 years because you have blocking responsibilities. How you fill that, I don't know. But you also have 3 weeks to put together a different game plan if you need to, which might be
run the football.
Yes, two tights, run the football, play action, Antonio Brown on one side, Mike Evans on the other. You want to go 3 wide, you put in Perriman. Might be enough. But I think this changes a little bit the discussion that we had this morning, which is, hey, get everybody rest. Now you might want to install concepts and use these 3 weeks to your advantage so you know what the hell you're going to run because Godwin's not coming back.
Yeah, but you know what? Let me tell you this. If you see it, if it happens, and we'll move on from the Bucs in a second. If it happens that's what these 3 weeks are used for, which is to make a run at doing something slightly different than what you've been doing, because you're now going to be taxed with obviously having to find a replacement for Godwin, who is really the crux of the offense. Then you get ready for that faraway look in Brady's eyes that you see. Remember last year when they were trying to tweak everything as it were happening, there were long stretches where you'd see that, okay, we're not on the same page here. Look, that I clearly wanted you to sit down there, but all right. So that happened a lot. Who's the number one candidate to fix that? AB is. Gronk played the worst game of his career, perhaps, last night.
Outside of last year's New Orleans season opener when he wasn't in shape.
Lead-footed, couldn't move. Yeah. I didn't even count that.
Boy, Gronk confused. That's what I saw.
Well, but physically just made you don't see him get whipped on blocks, and he did. You don't see him drop.
Yeah, did they go out partying on Saturday? Because it looked like it, didn't it? The whole team.
I'm like, what are we doing?
The whole team looked like, wait a minute, you guys are here for a fight?
But there's no way that the Saints couldn't have had their attention. They've been owned by New Orleans in the regular season. I mean, I don't know how you wouldn't know, like, hey, man, this team's physical, and they get up for the games against the Bucs. And I know they don't have a starting quarterback, but they do have a defense. Like, you got to show up.
Marcus last hour contributed $5 to the program.
Appreciate that.
He was making a point about Tom, since this opening was here. There's a point about Tom Brady and should he have been fined for the taunt of the sideline of the Saints. I mean, I suppose he could, but he was taunted as well. I believe it was Gardner Johnson
several times.
Yeah, and Tom turned around, he's like, look at this guy.
I think he probably appreciated it.
Yeah.
I would think. I think he probably appreciated
it. He's like, okay, all right, I see you.
I would.
Put in my notepad.
Listen, if you're a red ass,
not my tablet, because I'm gonna chuck that. I'll put it in my notepad. I'm gonna write it down.
But let me just say this: if you are a lifelong fierce competitor that has led you to the accolades that obviously he's earned, and you are petty and you do hold grudges, as he has shown before, whoever that kid was for Pittsburgh that he hawked down after saying that he didn't fear Brady. And then threw the touchdown pass on him and sprinted to him.
Well, and Honey Badger last year in the Super Bowl, that was uncomfortable. Like 12, calm down. It's the second quarter.
Well, but the point is that guy, yes, it's the same as pitchers who felt like you walked a little too slowly to first base on that ball or took your time around the bases. And now maybe I'm not going to hit you here because the moment's not right, but perhaps I'll get your ass in a spring training game a year from now because I hold on to things like that. So Brady's that guy. He's always been that guy. At this point, I think if it happens to you, you'd be like, all right, respect.
Buffalo Tom is still on that. South Carolina State did.
Yes, they did.
They did.
Yes, they did, Tom. Yes, they did. We'll go back and wrap it up and get you some picks. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Now that it's Christmas time, it's time to spread the holiday cheer, and there's no better way to lift spirits than a visit to Tallulah CBD. Shop local and stuff your stockings. Delta 8 gummies for $1.99. Chocolates are just $3.50. Oils, vapes, and so much more. Plus, while you shop around, you can now enjoy all new CBD drinks on tap, like Kava, Delta 8, and Kratom. Absolute stress-free shopping. Only at Tallulah CBD on Market Street and in Bannerman Crossing. Merry Christmas from the ladies at Tallulah.
Wooden Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Wooden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Wooden Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Wooden Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at woodenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
Let me tell you what T-Spark stands for. It stands for strength, commitment, teamwork, and heart. We don't ever quit until we've got nothing left to give. Our team is unstoppable. Want a guaranteed win? Call T-Spark Enterprises for your next roofing or construction project. We conquer all peaks. TSparkConstruction.com. License number CCC 1331204.
Hi, Chris Kraft for the Kraft Brothers dealerships. By now, we've all heard that used car prices are through the roof. So your car
Yes, the car you're probably driving right now is worth more at Kraft Nissan Infinity than anywhere else in North Florida. Every day we buy cars from customers, or they trade up. They come into our dealerships telling us that dealers offer them over Kelley Blue Book price. Forget that. At Kraft, we threw out the Kelley Blue Book prices months ago. With over 100 years combined experience, our appraisers know the market. They offer you the right price, which is always more money than you'd get anywhere else. So you can sell Kraft your car for holiday cash right now, or get maximum savings when you trade in for a new car. Why right now? Because on January 1st, your car has a birthday. It's officially a year older. So I've challenged the Kraft appraisers to raise the roof on appraisals. So you see, we get a big factory bonus if we sell 200 more cars by year end, and we're close. It's simple. You buy from us, and we share our year bonus with you in the form of higher trade-in prices and bigger discounts. But you better hurry, because time is ticking on 2021. Kraft Nissan and Infinity, both on Mahan Drive.
Live and living color and totally free. Subscribe to Warchant TV on YouTube, the digital home of Warchant.com. From the practice field to pregame and the phone calls afterwards, Warchant's YouTube channel is home to live programming like Seminole Headlines, Wake Up Warchant, The Jeff Cameron Show, as well as Trench Talk, a live Q&A with Noles offensive lineman Devontae Love-Taylor. Just search Warchant on YouTube and click or tap the subscribe button. That's it. It's totally free. Warchant TV on YouTube. Just another reason we're the ultimate Seminole sports source.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
You know when Kevin Coleman is making his decision.
Yeah, it's at the All-American game.
Right.
So there was some speculation that he has already signed and sent in his letter of intent to the school that he chose.
Which we think is Miami.
They were the leader, but I mean, judging by what I've seen, and Michael Langston knows way more about this stuff than I do, but there might still be a decision pending. Maybe he signed multiple letters and never turned one in. That's me. That's me on my own. That's me on my own saying he didn't fax anything in yet. Maybe he's still waiting because of the coaching changes. But he wanted to have his announcement the old school way from about 5 years ago at an All-American game, and then that was going to be the university of his choosing. So you'll know in about whatever that is, 2.5, 3 weeks.
Let's do this. Let's get after it. Hey, by the way, good job on the heads up for prize picks. We didn't win all 3. But we got 2 out of 3, so we made a little bit of money on the prize picks.
Yeah, we did okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, obviously in a bitterly disappointing day for Arizona, as they got way down, I felt comfortable Kyler Murray was going to get over that 250 because he was going to have to pass incessantly. Taysom Hill, under, we knew that. That's always a given. But we got screwed on the Burrow thing. He didn't throw for nothing.
Right, and then I had another one with Davis Mills, who was a 210.5, and he threw that touchdown to seal the game, 209.
Ooh!
I'd rather you just throw an incomplete pass, sir.
And go about your day.
That's right.
My goodness
209.
gracious.
Ouch.
This nearly shocked me. Brought to you by North Florida Payroll Services, locally owned for nearly 15 years, offering payroll and HR services, including full online applicant onboarding and integration into payroll. Save your company money and headaches today. Head to northfloridapayroll.com.
Hey, Big Daddy, having some Red Russians tonight?
We'll know in about 47 seconds.
Into an open wing. It's picked up by Dowdy and empty net. He scores.
Hot damn, Big Daddy's done it again. Red Russians all around, Teddy. All right, Big Daddy.
It's a toughie, Tom. I don't have anything for hockey. You might. I don't know.
Nobody's playing. And if they are right now, they're not going to be playing. That's the way the NHL's going.
I failed miserably on my teasers over the weekend. The teasers were not pleasers.
That result in Detroit torpedoed just about every play I had.
Well, the Titans thoroughly dominating the Steelers only to lose, despite giving up like 100 yards of offense. That one hurt. That one hurt a little bit. Especially since I had teased them to +5 or whatever it was. Like, come on, guys. Are you kidding me? But here you go. You want to float a little pizza money tonight. Don't get all crazy, everybody. You want to float a little pizza money tonight. Let's go teaser. Minnesota -0.5 point. Over 39.5. on the game total.
Oh, boy. All right.
That's the teaser.
You're double playing that one. You're not going to touch the early game, the one that starts in just a few hours between the Raiders and the Browns. Right now, that's
no part of it. It's a third-string quarterback for Cleveland. It's a Raider team who may quit. I have no feel or idea what to do with that game. I'm not going to touch it. And at this point, I have not dove in to the deep waters of college basketball just yet. So what I'm telling you is we're going to tease Minnesota down to a half point, and we're going to go over 39.5 on that Minnesota-Chicago game. We're going to ride Big River to a win.
This is why nobody trusts the Vikings. It's a game like this that they'll lose.
Oh, of course.
They did to the Lions already, and Chicago's ended their seasons before, or their hopes for a division or a home playoff game, which is one of the same thing, or a bye week, and just a terrible performance within their own division that nobody saw coming. But it would also be equally like the Vikings to win this game by 30, to set up a high-stakes matchup with Green Bay, only to lose that game. So I've got a hard time playing the Vikings in December. It's usually not profitable.
But if you tease them down to a half point and you tease down that total of 46 to 39 or 39.5, you could tease or please a game.
You could.
You can.
You could.
You don't like it?
I'm going to play something.
All right, well, I'll give you
I might
one.
just
I'll
spin
give
a
you-
wheel and then play something because, again, those games are going to be on the TVs at District tonight. So I want to be able to watch that and not my scores.
I'm going to give you
Not my
another game.
scores
I'm going to
in
give you
our
another
lane.
game. I'm going to give you one more teaser pleaser before we say goodbye. If you'd like, if this makes you feel better, you could tease the Bears up to a robust 13 and then take the Rams at -1 over the Seahawks tomorrow.
I like that.
You like that?
I like that, but I also need to play something tonight that has finality tonight, because I need those. I'm not like you. I'm a millennial somewhat, and so therefore I need that gratification that on a Monday night I know something's happening.
Well, here you go. I am taking this teaser. I'm taking the Vikings -0.5 point, and I am taking the under 46. I'm getting that down to 39. That's what we're doing here. Putting the points down. We're moving that under.
You laying down that hammer. What do you really think your best score is going to be tonight?
165.
Okay. All right.
I've never bowled the fine lanes at District 850 before. So who knows? Maybe I'll find my pocket early in the round and know that I, again, can touch the 200s. Like I got screwed out of doing that fateful night at Crenshaw that you bore witness to.
Yeah, you got iced.
With 190,
Hardcore.
whatever the hell that was. So perhaps. But yes, we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited about it either way. One last reminder, District 850, 7 o'clock. If you're not part of it, but you want to help out, we strongly encourage you to do so. Please come on by. It's greatly appreciated. You're helping out the kids of the Guardian Ad Litem. And another tip of the cap to our friends at Gordo's for being there for us always and all the events that we do. They will be catering the event tonight. District 850, 7 o'clock. Drop off, stay, have a drink, let the kids play, do whatever you want to do. And again, you can support the Guardian Ad Litem of the Big Ben. Head to gal2.org and click on the donate tab if you're out of town and you're wanting to help out there too.
So we usually do this our last show before Christmas, but also the show before the Christmas tournament. We're going to say goodbye to the YouTubers early and play Squire for an extended period of time.
Yes, let's go. Let's go. We'll be